Hi, I'm Elaine and my website is countryhomeandheart.net, and tonight we're going to be making some creamy macaroni and cheese on the stovetop, and I'm also going to be doing some salmon patties. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So hang on just a minute, and right here I have 1 cup of uncooked macaroni, and I'm going to add that to my water over here that's boiling. It'll take just a second. Okay, and so I've added that to my boiling water, and we're going to get started on the salmon patties. So I'm going to turn you down here so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and I have, this is 1 can of salmon that I have drained, and what we're going to do is we're going to start pulling all these little bones out that's in here. You see these little, they're hard to see, but these just little tiny bones. And I always pull these out. My mom never did, and I never did like her salmon patties when I was growing up. I just didn't, because I didn't like all those bones and everything that she left in it. So, and the skin. See, we're going to pull the skin off the outside too. So I'm going to pull a few more of these bones, just like that. And these salmon patties always turn out real crispy, and I just like the flavor of these. So, okay, and I have that done, that section. We're going to work on another one. Okay, now this one has the little, see that? It has that little backbone in it, so we're going to go ahead and take that out. And make sure I have all these other little bones out before I put it in my big bowl and start mixing it up. It's very important that you remove all these bones, because I tell you what, some people say, and my mom always said too, that oh, it doesn't matter, they cook up and they don't hurt you, and which they probably don't, but I just think it tastes bad, and it's a lot of the reason I did not like these at all when I was growing up, because she left those bones in them. But so I'm real meticulous in making sure that I get every one of those bones and every little piece of skin out. Now you can buy the salmon already boned and skinned, and that's fine if you'd like to do it that way. I typically don't, because it's a little more cost effective to just do it myself. And so that's typically the way I do it. See, there's a big bunch of skin. I'm going to pull that skin off of there. And all these leftovers down here that I have in this little paper plate, I think I'm going to divide up between my cat and the feral cat that hangs around. We have a little white feral kitty that likes to hang around here, and I give it food. And maybe I'll give it some of this salmon, see if she likes that mixed in with her food. Okay, so there's that little bit. Check on this piece now. And you just have to keep kind of breaking it apart and make sure that you have all those bones out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is finish taking this off of the bone and taking the skin off of it, and then let me rinse my hands. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next, so we'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have all of my salmon has been boned, and I've taken all the skin off of it, so this is what we have left. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Now to that, I'm going to add 2 eggs, just dump them right in. And then to that, I'm going to crumble half a sleeve of saltine crackers. These are just regular old saltine crackers. That's all they are, and I'm using 1/2 a sleeve. Now you can double this recipe real easy if you have a larger family. I'm just making these for my husband and me, so I don't need a lot. But you can double this recipe real easily. I used to have to double it when my kids were all at home. But anyway, then you just take your hand and just mix it together by hand like this. until you get everything incorporated, all that egg and everything all incorporated together. And your crackers. And there's what it looks like. Kind of a mess, huh? But that's okay. It's gonna taste really good. Okay, and what I'm going to do is turn the camera off for just a moment and move you over to the stove, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back, and I have my salmon patties ready to fry up, and I'm going to put this down so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so I have my skillet heating up, and over here I have my macaroni and cheese, or my macaroni cooking for the macaroni and cheese that we're going to do when we finish this. So right now we're just waiting for this oil to get hot, and so when this oil gets hot, we're going to form these into patties. And what I'm going to do to form this into patties, let me turn this down so you can see. Okay, I'm going to divide this, it's kind of with my fingers, in half, like that. And then I'm going to divide those. And this is going to make 4 patties. So, and that's 2 for my husband and 2 for me, so that should be plenty. And so this grease, when it gets hot, we will divide that. We'll make those into patties. It's not quite there yet. And now I'll show you how to make the patties. Okay, so let me turn this up just a little bit so you can see. Okay, so I just kind of shape it around, and then I flatten these out, but you don't want to make them too thin, because if you make them too thin, they might break apart when you're trying to turn them and put them in the pan, so you want to be real careful with that and not make your patties too thin. Okay, and I believe our oil is ready, so I have the first one here, and I'm going to go ahead and just set that in there. Okay, and we're going to make another one. That over a little bit, because I think I can scoop 2 more in on the other side of that. And these are pretty much like with any fried food. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. So, I mean, if I had any more than this, I would do this in batches. Okay, move that over a little. And this is the last one. Put it right there. All right, let me move this out of the way. Rinse my hands. Okay, and let's bring you up a little bit closer so you can see that better. Okay. All right, and when they get brown on that side, we're going to turn them over and let them brown on the other side. And so we're just going to let those cook, and in the meantime, let me stir this macaroni over here. I'm going to make sure it doesn't stick to the pan. Okay, when I have turned these, we'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and my salmon patties have browned, and I already took 2 of them out of the pan. So there they are, and I'm going to take these 2 out and just put them on the plate. And there they are. They're nice and crispy on the outside, and they're going to be nice and moist on the inside, and they're going to have really good flavor. Okay, so let me take this off of the heat, and I'm going to bring my macaroni over here to this burner and turn this back one off so that you can see that better. Okay, and this is just the 1 cup of macaroni that I've cooked according to package directions, and it looks like they're getting pretty close to being done. So I'm going to let them cook just a little bit longer. I want to make sure they're good and done. and we'll be back with you. Okay, I'm back, and the macaroni is done, and so let me turn you down here so you can see how I'm going to make my creamy macaroni and cheese. Okay, so I'm going to turn this burner back on. I turned the burner off just a minute. And what we're going to add to this is 6 ounces of Velveeta cheese that I cut up. And to that, I'm going to add, about 1/4 of a stick or so of butter. That's what that was. It was softened. And the last thing I'm going to add in is about 1/8 of a cup of milk. I have 1/4 of a cup measured out here, and if I need it, I'll use it. But we've got the heat turned back on this, and we're just going to stir it until that cheese melts. Now, this was the way my mother always made macaroni and cheese when I was growing up, because she worked full-time, and with her working like she did, this was a pretty easy meal for her to throw together when we were kids and feed 3 hungry kids when she got off work. So she always made it this way. I didn't even know that there was such a thing as a baked macaroni and cheese casserole until actually I started dating my husband, and his mother made that. So that's where I learned about it. I'm going to put a little bit more milk in that. There we go. And but this was always the way she made it, and kids really like this kind of macaroni and cheese. And I tell you what, it's so much better than the boxed macaroni and cheese that you can get in the store. Because one thing I like about this is you know exactly what's in it. Where with the stuff you get in the box, you don't really know what's in that. And this tastes better, and kids just love this. My grandkids always wanted me to make this whenever they were little, and they used to come around. But now, as far as the salmon patties, my mother always used flour, and she never took those little bones out that I thought just made it taste terrible. But so it was actually my mother-in-law, when I started dating my husband, that told me about doing it with the crackers, and said that when you do it with the cracker crumbs, they come out very crispy. Okay, this is getting real close, and she's right. I have made it that way ever since. But I'm always a stickler again. I can't stress enough for getting rid of all those bones, because it's pretty bad if you don't. Okay, there is our macaroni and cheese. It is done. Okay, and I'm going to get the rest of this meal taken up. And when I get the rest of this meal all plated up, I will be right back with you. Okay, I'm back, and I have all this plated up, so let me turn this down so you can see it. Okay, and here is my husband's plate right here, and here's mine. And what we have is we have the salmon patties that I just fixed, and we have the macaroni and cheese. And this is a little of the broccoli casserole that I made the other night, and that's going to be our vegetable. So we're going to eat, and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, I thought we were done, but I just had to show you all this one video. That was the salmon scraps that I pulled, where I pulled off the bone and the skin, and I just wanted to show you my cat is over there enjoying those right now, so we'll let him have a good time, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.